While America spent $2.3 trillion fighting wars in the Middle East, India quietly built a plan so brilliant, even Barack Obama called it the future of the 21st century. But here's what nobody's telling you. This isn't about technology or military power. If you've ever wondered why your grocery bills keep rising while jobs disappear, this might be the real reason. But before we dive in, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. I subscribe. And I'll personally welcome you into the family. With that said, let's get started. Let me introduce you to Rajesh Kumar. In 2019, he was just another 34-year-old software engineer from Bangalore with big dreams. He applied to Google's Silicon Valley office. Got rejected. Instead of moving to America like thousands before him, he did something different. He started his own company in India. 3 years later, his AI startup now supplies predictive healthcare solutions to 47 American hospitals. He didn't leave India. India came to the world. And he's just one of 1.4 billion reasons America should be worried. Because while we were distracted, something massive shifted. India's GDP grew 7.8% in 2023 while the US struggled to hit 2.1%. The World Bank's 2024 report shows India will become the third largest economy by 2027, leapfrogging Japan and Germany. Here's a fact that should make you pause. India adds a city the size of Los Angeles every single year. That's not growth. That's an explosion. Ever notice how your customer service call almost always goes to India? That's not just annoying hold music. That's $250 billion in revenue flowing into India annually. And here's where it gets interesting. Remember Priya Sharma? She started as a call center worker in Mumbai in 2005, earning $300 a month. Today, she owns the outsourcing company. And here's the twist. She now employs 2,000 Americans doing remote work for Indian clients. The script flipped, and most people didn't even notice. While we were busy with culture wars and Twitter battles, India was building the infrastructure of tomorrow. But the real master plan? It's not about outsourcing. It's far more sophisticated than that. Barack Obama saw it coming. In a 2023 interview, after visiting Indian tech campuses that train 500,000 engineers yearly, he said something that should have made headlines. India is not competing with America, they're redefining what competition means. Think about that. The US graduates 65,000 engineers per year. India? Over 1.5 million. If your kid is in college right now, they're not just competing with Americans anymore. They're competing with a talent pool 23 times larger. And here's where it gets scary for the West. India built their master plan on 3 pillars, and each one is a masterclass in long-term thinking. First, the digital infrastructure revolution. You've probably never heard of UPI, Unified Payments Interface. But it processes 12 billion transactions every single month. That's more than Visa processes globally. Let me tell you about Amit Patel, a farmer in rural Gujarat. In 2015, he didn't even have a bank account. He'd walk 15 kilometers to sell his crops, getting ripped off by middlemen who paid cash. Fast forward to today, Amit accepts payments via his phone, sells directly to buyers online, and his income tripled. MIT's technology review in 2024 called India's digital payment system 10 years ahead of America. While we argue about cryptocurrency regulations and whether Bitcoin is the future, India built a system that 410 million people use every single day. Second pillar, pharmaceutical dominance. Here's a stat that should make your blood run cold. India produces 60% of the world's vaccines and 40% of all generic medicines. That pill you bought at CVS last week? There's an 8 out of 10 chance it came from India. The World Health Organization's 2023 report literally calls India the pharmacy of the world. During the COVID pandemic, India held the cards to 3.5 billion vaccine doses. Just imagine, if India said no more medicines to America. Game over. That's not competition, that's leverage. And the third pillar? This is the chess move that has Washington terrified. Strategic non-alignment. India buys oil from Russia, defense systems from the United States, technology from Europe, and plays them all against each other. In 2023 alone, India saved $4 billion by buying discounted Russian oil while America paid premium prices to spite Putin. Vikram Singh, an Indian diplomat, explained the strategy in a 2022 interview with a sentence that's ice cold: "We don't pick sides. We pick India." This is the move that has Washington, Beijing, and Moscow all nervous. Because nobody knows whose team India is really on. But here's where America's strategy went horribly wrong. The US spent $300 billion developing the F-35 fighter jet program. India spent $45 billion building 83,000 kilometers of new highways. Guess which country's economy is growing faster? A Harvard Business Review study from 2024 titled "Infrastructure Over Intimidation" breaks it down brutally. India chose roads over rockets, and they're winning because of it. Let me tell you about David Morrison. American factory worker, lost his job to automation in 2020. Meanwhile, Sunita Desai opened a garment factory in Mumbai the same year and hired 500 people. One country invested in weapons. The other invested in people. If you've lost a job in the last 5 years, this pattern is why. Barack Obama's full quote deserves to be heard. At Stanford in March 2023 he said, "India is not competing with America, they're redefining what competition means. The country that educates better will compete better. Right now, that's not us." He said this knowing most Americans wouldn't listen. Then he added something chilling: "Americans are still living in 1995, thinking we're the only option. India just proved we're not." Here's what makes India's Masterplan so genius, and why it should humble us. They didn't try to beat America at military power or Hollywood or fast food culture. They just made themselves indispensable. Need vaccines? India. Need tech support? India. Need engineers? India. Need a growth market for your products? India. Even China relies on Indian pharmaceutical ingredients for their medicine production. India became the friend everyone needs but can't control. That's not competition. That's checkmate. So what happens next? By 2047, India's independence centennial, they aim to be a fully developed nation. We're talking a $30 trillion economy, up from $3.7 trillion today, according to India's Ministry of Finance 2023 projections. Remember Rajesh Kumar from the beginning? His startup is now worth $400 million. And here's the kicker: he's opening offices in California. He's not competing with America anymore. He's partnering with it. Maybe that's the real lesson here. Cooperation beats competition. So here's my question for you: should America be more like India? Would you accept slower democracy if it meant faster progress? Or is India building their success on the backs of 230 million people still living in poverty? Is this the future we want, or the future we're afraid of? Drop your answer below, and be honest, because in 20 years, your kids will see this comment and judge whether you understood the moment we were living in. And if you think I'm exaggerating any of this, check the description. I've linked every single study I mentioned. The World Bank reports, the MIT analysis, Obama's Stanford speech, everything. Because this isn't about politics anymore. It's about survival.